Alright guys, here we go. Let's find out who picks what and who is playing. Bottom left hand side, it's going to be our favorite Grim Reaper with Uber Otter. Top left hand side, it's going to be Yuki with Millionaire. Top right hand side, it's going to be Hattori Hanzo with Boom Bap, our other favorite. The favorite child who had amazing marine play just the other day. I don't know if you guys were tuning in on that, but let's see if he does some amazing marine play this game. And bottom right hand side, we have our VIP from the US. It's going to be Raynor with his partner Vince. Now, last time we saw Raynor play, he did decide to go with Beetles. Let's see if he does it again tonight. So, of course, this is the very beginning of the game. Not a whole lot is going to happen here, but what is interesting is that Yuki deciding not to go after the debris. Instead, he wants to try to come in and see if he can snipe some of these units. How is he going to respond? His partner does see it. He splits the army, and he stims, trying to get Grim Reaper out of position, but I think Grim Reaper is going to be just fine here. In fact, Yuki, I think, overextending possibly a little bit. His Zerglings are strong in the early game, but I just don't think that was going to be enough. Let's take a look at the scores. Yep, Grim Reaper did make out 50 extra points there, so... And Grim Reaper with the trash talk saying, hey, no intentional feed. I like it. The trash talk is strong. Alright, there is going to be a little bit of engagement between top right and top left. Millionaire. Let's see, what did he decide to go with? Looks like those are Spectres. Some Marauders for Raynor. I'm really curious to see if he's going to switch to those Beetles, like we've seen before. I don't think he's going to stay with Marauder. Or, I'm sorry, Marauder. Oh, what's up, Nuclear? Yeah, that would have been sweet to have a co-caster. That's great. Alright, so it looks like Grim Reaper deciding to push in through the middle. There is a medivac for Vince. We'll see if he's able to use it to great effect. Millionaire trying to come in. I think with Grim Reaper and Otter here in a superior position, I think they're going to be just fine. Grim Reaper could also use that center beacon once it has enough energy to get that Guardian Shield. Meanwhile, Boom Bap trying to come in, but look at the drop from Vince. That's an excellent concave. Boom Bap could be in trouble, but he has so many Zerglings that his Marines are okay as long as he doesn't overextend. Raynor did possibly overextend here. He is getting pushed back, but Vince with the nice drop, they do have the superior position, and Boom Bap finally going down. Let's just take a look and see how Boom Bap made from that 800 points. That was actually an excellent fight for him. The only thing that's going to suck is that his army is a little bit spent. He is only at 177 supply. So it looks like Grimmy for now holding the middle, and Otter also having a great presence because he's able to put down those turrets, and he has the Raven's Seeker missile in case he needs it. And it looks like Otter switching to the mid position now, and Hattori isn't going to have much of a response for this. Boom Bap needing to gain a little bit more units before he can actually go in. Still not quite up to 300 yet, excuse me. And it looks like Yuki now finally recovered from that kind of early feed. He does stim. Oh, there's even a Void Prism here. He's trying to do something on Otter. A heat-seeking missile did come down. Did it do enough damage? Not really. He did end up retreating. He probably has his Void Prism ready soon. No, he does not. So he decides to retreat. Boom Bap now getting behind Hattori. might make his move, as he now finally has almost 400 army supply. And a little bit of back and forth for this left side Xel'Naga tower, holding it down with the auto turret. Grim also holding his position as well. Unfortunately, Team 4 unable to get that bottom Xel'Naga. And he is pushing forward, trying to put some pressure on Vince. This may not be the wisest choice, as he is fighting both Raynor and Vince. And it looks like he's going to retreat. No, but he actually stims, and Raynor was caught off guard, losing a little bit of units there. Good play by Grim. Meanwhile, Millionaire, with his double Ravens himself, going to try to put pressure on Otter. 2 Heat Seekers go down, another Heat Seeker goes. It looks like Otter focused the army, while Millionaire actually focused the Ravens. Now the Ravens are a little bit weak, and it looks like the other Ravens putting down some towers, trying to put the pressure on his Raven, and he does. He picks off one of the Ravens. That was an excellent play by Millionaire. There is a blink that came in and did a Void Prism on Boomap's units. He is in a little bit of trouble as Yuki's trying to surround him. He is also surrounded by Raynor. But now Raynor is in a little bit of an awkward position as he doesn't have an army here. So he can't put a whole lot of pressure on Yuki. So here's Vince trying to bolster him up a little bit there. And Hattori with that big but slow-moving army trying to come in, put on some pressure. A scan does go down and actually picks off the Medivac. That was an excellent play by Hattori. And since there's a little bit of lull in the actions, let's go ahead and check out the points. It looks like actually a very, very even game, with the exception of Hattori. He has a huge army, but he hasn't really attacked anybody except for picking off that Medivac. Yes. What's up, who am I? Did you need something, buddy? What you need, buddy? Alright, so there could possibly be a drop by Grim. He doesn't get the Raven. Actually, kind of overextended himself a little bit there. Lost a little bit of his army. And unfortunately, unable to get that Raven, so it looks like Millionaire able to hold off for one more day. But look at this. Yuki taking Vince. He is off of position. There is nobody there to help him. Raynor with the Beetles, but unfortunately not in the position to help out his partner. The Void does go down. Yuki is taking such a huge position here, but the Beetles pop up and take out about half of that army almost instantly. Very powerful play by Raynor. And Yuki will retreat for now. Meanwhile, Millionaire trying to make something happen in the middle. Grim Reaper able to hold that mid position while Otter comes in with double Ravens. Turrets do go down. And also a scan. Is he going to be able to do anything about these DTs? No, in fact, the heat-seeking missile comes in and completely squashes his army. Now these Ravens are in trouble. One goes down. But who cares, because the Beetles come in and completely take out that army. That's unbelievable. Great job by Raynor. Man, those Beetles are so strong. Alright, so a little bit of back and forth from Vince for this bottom Xel'Naga tower. It looks like Grim able to pick up the rest of that drop. Vince taking out a portion of his army, so no problems there, just standard play. A scan does go down. He was able to see Raynor's Beetles. He is going to retreat for now. And there's pretty much a lull in the action, so let's go ahead and check out the scoreboard. It looks like Team 3 is a little bit behind Hattori, still a little bit behind Millionaire, though.
Your forces are under attack.
In a pretty decent lead above everybody else. Except for Grim, he's about 3,000 ahead of at least Grim, which is a decent lead. As long as he can keep up that pressure. He does have the Ravens. He does have Spectres still, but they do have 5 attack. And let's see if he decides to upgrade them into either the Phantom. Oh, I guess there is only one upgrade. I guess it's the Phantom. So let's see if he decides to upgrade it into Phantom. And it looks like Hattori, this is actually, I think, a really smart move. His army size is usually very big, and he does move rather slowly, so he is deciding to go with a beefier unit like Goliath, so I think that's going to be just fine. Raynor coming in, though, trying to pick up Yuki's army, and he does, but oh, he does get hit by that Savior. He does lose some beetles. Meanwhile, it looks like Vince taking out the rest of those overextended units there on the plateau. Meanwhile, there is a Void Prism down for Grim Reaper. Is Yuki going to be able to do the damage and kill that Medivac? I don't think so. Ravens do come in. They are slowed with the Concussion Shell. And Uber comes in to try to clean up the rest of Millionaire's troops. The DTs, both DTs died, though, but losing a significant army in the process. And look, Raynor actually coming in to pick up the rest of the units. So losing those DTs is going to be huge for Yuki. He is going to have to get them back out. I'm not even sure who came out on top in that fight. I almost want to say it was Raynor, just from coming in and getting those snipes without losing hardly any units. And here he goes fighting Boom Bap right now. He does burrow. Is he going to pop back up? Oh, there's a huge army right here. Look at this. He's taking out so many Marines, and he still has so many Beetles left. They're completely untouched so far. And these Marines are in huge trouble. The Goliath's trying to back away, which I think is a smart play. And there we go. The Beetles are finally defeated. But he lost so many Marines, so that's a lot of feed coming in the way for Raynor. Huge drop by Grim Reaper on top left plateau. Millionaire does hold the line, though. And without those DTs there, the army strength is a little low. While Raynor finding... Ooh, Hattori! Hattori could be in huge trouble! There he goes! Oh, and Hattori is going to lose so much of his army. At least half of it was held off. And it looks like Raynor deciding to finish off the rest of that army. That was an excellent play by Raynor. I'm just kind of curious. I want to take a look at the scores after that. Yeah, Raynor's at 4,000. The only person who's winning right now is Millionaire, who has an additional 400 over Raynor. But other than that, those two are beating everybody else. So with the smart, calculated plays, Raynor is actually coming out a little bit on top, possibly able to take the lead if he continues this kind of play. So it looks like Yuki finally has the double DTs out. Is he going Marines? He needs to go Marines. This is really strange. He has 2,000 minerals. He only has 1 gas, though. So I don't think that he's going for any Dark Archon play, but sitting on 2,000 minerals like that, that's usually not good. Unless you're saving up for a hero. So we'll see what he plans on doing, because right now all of his units is basically feed, and at 20 minutes in with almost no upgrades, that is not good. he's going to lose like almost all of his army here if he's not careful. The double Void Prism does go down. Grim retreats. Vince trying to make something happen, and the beetles coming in. Oh, but if a Savior goes down, though, he could lose all those beetles. Whew, very smart decision. I think that was an overextension from Raynor. Thankfully, they did not react quick enough, because he could have just lost like almost all of his army. Grim could be in trouble. Raynor, he might pop out. And he does. He pops out. And whoa, my gosh, that army is completely gone. I mean, within seconds, it's completely gone. And it looks like Vince holding off Otter so that way he could pick off the rest of Grimm's units. And it looks like Raynor just biding his time. Do they see it, though? They should be able to see the movement. Oh, here it comes. It looks like that Shadow Ops could be in trouble, and he didn't see it. He did not see it, so that Shadow Ops is definitely going down. No, the Savior, but he still has beetles. He still has beetles left. I can't believe he used the Savior for so few units, trying to keep that Shadow Ops up. But look at Raynor. He's so patient. He barely wants to move. He might actually try to put some pressure on Grim down here just to get the rest of the units to move. And if he does, he is going to be able to get that Shadow Ops. He's playing so cautiously, and they're not even paying attention. Oh no, an Observer does finally go down! Is he going to be able to get it? No, he didn't get it. It's like at 90 hit points. And it looked, oh, there we go, Yuki, he was saving up so that he could get air. And that is a really interesting choice. Okay. Well, that explains why he was saving up so much. My gosh, they must cost a fortune. And it looks like Raynor deciding to stay away from Team 1 for now and feed on Team 3. Look at this, I mean, they're having a heyday. Oh my gosh, these beetles are so strong. 5 armor upgrades so far. A Savior does come out, and you know what? Top right, I think, is out of Saviors. Yes, they are. This is absolutely perfect for Raynor. He now has full access to top right. They are in so much trouble, and his beetles are so strong. And I think they know that too. If Vince decides to press the advantage here and whittle down some of the army, they will not be able to stop these beetles. But I guess Raynor says, screw it. I'm actually going to finish off what I started. Bottom left, that tower is not here anymore, so he might get that support tower. That would be huge. Or he could possibly get the ghost. Ooh, the ghost is in so much trouble. Is he going to be able to get it? He does. Oh, the ghost goes down. And he gets the support tower. Oh, no, this is terrible for Team 1. Oh my gosh, and then I just dropped my phone. Holy cow. This is so crazy. And also gets the compound too. I mean, this is just going so well for Raynor right now. Finally a Savior comes out, but that was really only for Millionaire and not for Raynor. I think that was the wrong decision, because now there is only one save left for bottom left team, Team 1. Raynor coming in. Okay, that's it. All the Saviors are gone, but he was able to get that ghost, I think? Excuse me, I think that was a ghost. So now Team 1 is super screwed right now. If Raynor wanted to, he could go in and finish this with his beetles. Does he have enough, though? I'm not sure. They are at 2 attack, 5 armor, 300 hit points. They would definitely be strong, but I don't know if they're strong enough. He does take out almost all of the army here. He is going for that support tower, a few on the command centers, but he might actually choose to just go for the compound, possibly even keep them alive. Nope. Vince is behind him, so yes, Team 1, I think, is going to be completely eliminated here, unless... Nah, I don't think Team 2 can come and help this out at all. Yep, that is it. Team 1 has been eliminated tonight. And wow, let's take a look at the scores real quick for Raynor. Holy shit. Raynor is just about caught up with Millionaire, and Vince is definitely farther ahead than Yuki here, so almost by 1,000 points. So this could be trouble for Team 2 if they keep this momentum. And you know what? I actually think Team 3 is in a lot of trouble. They have no saviors left. They have a huge army. This is just pure feed waiting to happen for these beetles. And look at this. Look at this. The pandemonium is about to start. Oh, this is going to be terrible. Is he going to reveal it? No, actually, he's going to keep them burrowed. And what is he planning on doing? It looks like he's bringing in just a small portion. I don't even think he needs to do this. I don't think he needs to snipe the spawning pool. He could actually kill this army without any problems, because he's just so far ahead. The Marines do have 7 attack, though. That does make them strong, but are they strong enough to kill the beetles? I mean, look at how much... Look at how much time it takes just to kill those beetles that were there. And I do apologize. I'm gonna mute it real quick. Alright, I do apologize about that. Some sirens were going off. Don't know what that was all about. So Millionaire here is now on the top plateau, left side. He is trying to farm a little bit with these auto turrets. And I think this is kind of bad for Raynor. He shouldn't have... I don't think he should have sniped the compound. I think he should have saved his army so that he could feed on top right. This is actually a huge mistake for Raynor. This is not good. Yes, he is getting the snipes down, but now he doesn't have anything to follow up for this army, and it looks like Millionaire and Yuki were able to feed on a majority of this army. And now with no feed for Raynor, I'm not quite sure what his answer is going to be against Yuki. Yep, and here comes Millionaire. I figured this is what's going to happen. Boom Bap with the call down. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Hattori with the call down. Gonna be able to actually fend them off, but where is Raynor? He needs to come and finish off these units. There's so much money here. And here comes Raynor. He is going to try to come in and snipe this compound, which there's hardly any units here, so you might as well. But he's got to finish off the units quickly. Yuki is just waiting to come in and steal this money. There's an even bigger call down. He needs to focus down these units. Raynor, please. Please, Raynor. Kill the units. Oh my gosh, Yuki is killing the units. That's so much feed. Taking a look at the points. Yeah, I mean, look at this. Raynor has actually fallen behind now. He's over 1,000 behind Millionaire, and I think that was poor decision making on his part, not going after those units. That was a tremendous amount of feed, and instead he lost those units trying to go for silly things like compounds. I mean, I would have played differently, personally, but that's just unfortunate. So it looks like Raynor trying to answer up with Corruptors. They do have a lot of hit points. No attacks, though, as he did decide to go for Beetles, which are really good with armor, not really needing the attacks. So now his mercenaries don't have a whole lot of attacking power. We'll see if that's going to be enough to handle the Mutalisk, and I'm not sure. Well, Actually, I am pretty sure. What is up with this? Hold up. What is Yuki spending his money on? He has no upgrades. He has no upgrades. What is he spending his money on? Huh. I've never seen this before. I mean, he has no upgrades for his Mutalisk, so yeah, actually Raynor is going to be able to defend against the Mutalisk just fine because there's no upgrades on them. So, Gonnerstrom, I got my PC on my bed because I got no desk. I'm sitting on the floor. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I do it too. I don't have a desk either. So, isn't he buying hit points? Well, I guess he could be. Yeah, it does look like he does have some hit points. And he just now got an attack upgrade. So, yeah, I guess he did buy maybe some hit points. I don't think they start off at 500 hit points. But the Marines have 55, so I'm not sure. If that's the case, I just don't know what his money is going into. Let me just check the leaderboard real quick. It could be because he doesn't have any money. So that's very possible. He only has 6,000. Excuse me. Just a second. Okay, so he does have, I guess, a few hit point upgrades. He does have one attack upgrade on his mercenaries, so that's it. That's all he's got. So I think Raynor is going to be just fine. He has the armor, which is going to mitigate a ton of the worm damage from those Mutalisks, so Glaive is not going to be nearly that effective. And it looks like Raynor deciding to go with Jim Raynor upgrades. That's going to be interesting, as they will far outrange the Mutalisks. Or don't they? Wait a minute, why do they only have 5 range? Does he not have any of the range upgrades? Oh, maybe he doesn't have any of the range upgrades. Yeah, he did buy the compound upgrades. That is true, and yes, that does cost some money, but I expected him to have more than just the compound upgrades, but perhaps he just didn't have the time to really feed on anybody. As you can see, Team 1 and Team 3 are already eliminated, so there we go. So now I guess it's just a waiting game as the armies reach max. A lot of scans going down. Team 2 might have a small advantage as they do have those Ravens. They have the double DTs, so they can put on pressure. I think there was also a stun there, so he might have had a ghost in there. I'm not quite sure how he's stunned. But there's a huge attack going on right now, and this could be bad for Yuki. I think, or I'm sorry, for Millionaire. I think he just lost a majority of his army. Did he lose the Ravens, or did he recall? I think he lost his Ravens, guys. Yep, I think he lost his Ravens. So it looks like Raynor moving one of those beetles out so he could possibly try to get a little bit of vision just to see where everybody is. And it looks like Millionaire is still trying to put on the pressure, but I don't know exactly how effective he's going to be. I mean, honestly, these beetles could probably just burrow and completely wipe out his army. There's a big drop by Vince. The Mutalisks are nowhere to be found. The beetles are just now coming in. They're acting as a front line for all these Marines. They got 7 attack upgrades. The DTs are on cooldown, which means no Void Prism, which means the whole army was wiped out. Let's take a look at the scoreboard just to see. Well, Millionaire is still ahead by at least 2,500 or so. So 2,500, not bad. Yuki is slowly gaining some minerals, but I don't know, just not quite enough. I mean, he does have the 4 upgrades. He does have the double DT. So there is at least that. But is 4 attack upgrades going to be strong enough to get through that beetle armor? I'm just not sure. And obviously the Goliaths are a huge threat to the Mutalisks, so we'll see. Here come the beetles, losing both of those ravens, and the beetles are just overwhelming that army. Yuki forced to retreat, and even though Millionaire is up on points, he has lost at least 4 ravens, and those do cost money. So although his points are reflecting a higher score, he may not be in that high of a lead after all, as he is spending a lot of money on these units and losing them. Look at this, Raynor even with the little siege tank. Aww. Oh, 2 siege tanks. That's adorable. They're so cute. Alright, well, there's a lull in action. I'm going to mute this just for a second. Eat a little piece of watermelon. Hopefully that will help my throat. And I will be back. Okay, so it looks like they're trying to possibly make some plays. Vince obviously sees this. He is prepared. He's protecting that compound. The scans do go down. They know exactly what's coming. And let's see what he plans on doing. He could be really naughty here and use a savior, and oh my gosh, he would get everything if he used it. Does he even have it rallied? I'm not even sure. I don't see Raynor rallying it. Instead, he's moving his siege tank, which could get picked off by Yuki if it's overextended. So he may want to possibly back it out just a little bit. Having it there might not be a good idea, but it looks like Millionaire deciding to back out. I think that's for the best, because that savior could be quite strong, and if they decide to use both those saviors before the sudden death, I don't know if they're going to have the army power. I think Raynor's going to be able to just overrun them with the beetles, which might be their tactic. They might just be sitting back, waiting. Those beetles are definitely stronger than anything that they have on the ground so far, and the Goliaths can easily push back the air. So the only thing that they're going to really have is those DTs and the ground games, which he does have phantoms, but as we've seen, those beetles just tear through everything on the ground. I got an OP PC. It's okay, yeah. I would like to make a small upgrade to my PC, but I don't have the money for it. It's the 1060 just came out, and it's actually stronger than my card that I have right now, but it's not so much the card's strength that I want. It's the power consumption. It it it's able to perform at 60 watts less than what my current one is, which would save a lot on my electric bill. So that is the dream, to upgrade to the 1060. It's a smaller card, but surprisingly strong. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. And sorry for the camera angle, I'm just kind of adjusting, so gotta get my microphone out of the way, so just a second. Okay, that should be better. If that was loud to you guys, I do apologize. The DT's just coming in to tease a little bit. They don't have a whole lot of kills on them, but just a little bit of teasing, possibly just to reduce some of the scanning potential. I'm not even sure if Vince has a tower. I don't see it. I know that Raynor has a support tower. It's very strange that Vince doesn't have a tower. He should have at least a scan tower, and possibly an anti-hero tower so that he can vortex. But excuse me. Very surprised that he doesn't have one. I don't think he lost one in any engagements. I don't recall ever seeing him purchase one. So, So Yuki again sitting on 1,000 minerals. This is so strange. I'm not sure why he would spend so much money on getting the Mutalisk, but then not upgrade them, and he's sitting on so much money. The only thing I can think of is that he could possibly get a Dark Archon, but he doesn't have that extra gas. He still needs to buy that. So I don't know. I'm not sure why he's sitting on all this money. In fact, Raynor is also sitting on money. This is very strange. I'm not sure why. Oh my gosh. I do apologize for that. There are a lot of dickheads around here that think it's really cool to rev their engines because they got little tiny wieners, so sorry about that. I'll try to mute it whenever I hear it, but it tends to happen more often than I would like. So Well, incredible action here, guys, as we wait for sudden death, which will be here in just a few minutes. But of course, we patiently wait for that to happen. I like that your mama joke, though. That's pretty funny. Your mom is so stupid she sold the house to pay the mortgage. I like it. It made me giggle, so I'm cool with it. Alright, so we have the spread from Yuki, the siege tanks coming from Millionaire. But honestly, I don't think that they're going to be able to stand up to the superior power that Raynor has with his ground game. And of course, Vince will be able to repel most of the air with his Goliath. And yes, Gonnerstrom, I notice you. Let's see what you have to say. Your mom is so fat that when she walked by my router, I lost connection. So nuclear with a joke as well. Something about 2 pylons. I don't think you should say town with that joke because it's the pylons don't mix with the towns. It should be something like, you know, something to the effect of like, I tried to warp in your mom, but they kept telling me build more additional pylons or some shit, you know? That would be probably more appropriate for the joke. Alright, so we're finally at sudden death. There is a good split by Yuki. I don't know if it's going to be enough. I'm pretty sure that the Beetles are going to be just so strong, but I can tell you this. If they don't get off their ass and move, this is going to be disastrous. This is going to be an absolute disaster, especially with Raynor sitting on 3,000 minerals. He needs to go, like right now. The longer that they wait for this, the worse off it's going to be. And Raynor needs to spend that money. Also, a Dark Archon coming? Like, are you kidding me? What are they doing? They're just sitting here at base. Okay, there we go. The Beetles are now finally starting to go. It looks like Yuki preemptively moved, so he did clump up a little bit. Alright, so Raynor's now finally in position. He bought a High Templar. Why? And it died. Why the fuck did he buy? I mean, I'm pissed. He's got 2,000 minerals. Why doesn't he just buy the armor for his Beetles? Just boss the shit out of Millionaire's troops. Instead, he bought a High Templar that died. He's now buying a Dark Templar too? He doesn't even have the gas. What? Looks like Team 2 has won this one, guys. Yep. Gonna call it for Team 2 because Team 4 is doing some seriously stupid shit right now. I mean, the only thing I can think of is that he wanted to make an Archon, but he doesn't even have the gas for it yet. He certainly doesn't have the minerals. Why wouldn't he just upgrade his units? Kill all of Millionaire's units. Hold middle. And then take... Like I'm a little upset about this. Like, more than I probably should be, but I mean, he already just defeated the units. Like, half the units are gone. So we already know that the beetles are strong enough. This is so strange. I don't understand what's going on right now. Like, what the fuck, man? And he sniped the Medibabe. That's funny. Wow. So this is a big throw from Team 4. I'm actually really kind of pissed. Wow. Raynor. Oh, baby boy, Raynor, baby boy. You're killing me, bro. They totally had this, too. This is crazy. He had 3,000 minerals. He decided to buy 2 stupid heroes. When his beetles are strong enough, well, they were strong enough to take out a Millionaire without any issue. And, I don't know, man. Allowing them time to get out the Dark Archon. Such a strange play, man. Alright, but good game, obviously, to Team 2. Congratulations.